Hi, everybody. I hope you enjoyed our Monday cool off. Forecast has been pretty consistent and really pretty good. Going back to last Friday when we talked about potentially 3 days in the 90s, the hottest day being Saturday. Again, Saturday was 96 in Portland, 98 in Salem, 100 in Eugene. And then today, dun, 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 the cool off. And that's where I start. So coming to you at 5 o'clock. Temperatures, looks like a few spots in the valley might just get up to 80 this afternoon, but a lot of spots are probably going to hang out at 78, 79 for highs. So that's pretty nice difference. This is what you're looking at are images from this morning at 11:20, and on the left, it's kind of a cluttered radar scene from the National Weather Service or the image. But if you look carefully, if you find Portland in the middle of the screen, you see the little kind of greenish tones, those little specks. We had literally little specks or traceable amounts of rain showers this morning. Earlier, noticeable at the coast, places like Seaside definitely got wet. And then we had some showers in the Coast Range, definitely got wet. And then just some spotty traces up around Kelso, Longview, and some parts of the Northern Valley. And that was it. Anyway, that's all long gone as we've seen increasing sunshine this afternoon as we expected. And then on the right of this image is the weather pattern that produced today's marine cloudiness this morning with the traceable rain amounts and lowered our temperatures with the flow coming off the Pacific from the 90s back into the 70s to about 80 degrees for a high this afternoon. So you can see two low pressure centers up, one, the strongest one up in the Gulf of Alaska, a weaker low that's over basically British Columbia. And notice the high, the big H that's over Arizona. That's that hot high that had come up into Nevada and Utah and parts of California over the weekend. We were on the northern edge of it and we got into the 90s. But now it has migrated back to the south, pretty much down over Arizona, making room for the lows to our north to bring in that colder or cooler moderating flow pattern from the west off of the Pacific waters. So today worked out just really as we expected it to. So we had some traceable showers around this morning, which we talked about that being a possibility. But look at what's happened this afternoon. And up on the left corner, that's Lincoln County, the Inn at Ottercrest. That's a beautiful resort property. If you haven't seen it, it's a pretty big property. This is south of Depot Bay, the Inn at Ottercrest, part of my live camera network. This camera is looking to the south and just absolutely perfectly cleared out. Just a beautiful afternoon. In the middle of your screen, the Dundee Hills Domain Serene Wineries camera, just beautiful. Just a few picturesque cumulus clouds, otherwise all blue sky. So any cloudiness has been just low cumulus, and up top, no haze, no nothing, just perfectly blue. And pretty much the same scene up north. This is Lewis River Golf Course up in Woodland. It also cleared today up into the Kelso Longview area. So here were the temperatures at 4:30. Notice McMinnville 79, Trapville 79, but Hillsborough only 75, 77 Salem, Vancouver, Portland. A lot of these cloud reports were from actually have cleared out since then. And it does appear, this shows Canby at 80. There will be a few spots hit 80 today. But also, as I mentioned, a few spots are going to hang out in the upper 70s. So really a very, very comfortable day, no matter how you slice it. We will be warming back up into the 80s tomorrow, and then perhaps back up into the 90s on Wednesday. I'll get to that forecast in a moment. I want to step back to the weekend real quick because, it's become a big part of summer forecasting to keep track of how many 90-degree days we've had. Didn't used to be a thing, but now it is. So again, the first 90-degree day was back in May when we hit 90 degrees, and then the second one was May 13th, we hit 93. And then if you fast forward to July 14th, last week, 93 on Friday, 96 on Saturday, 92 yesterday on Sunday. We now have 12 90-degree or warmer days this summer season, with the warmest being the 98 that we had on July 5th so far. Now, keep in mind, the average number of 90-degree days, 20 years ago, we averaged about a dozen. Well, we're already there. And then remember, if you go from 2000 forward, so the last coming up on 23 years, we now average 16. We have 12 right now. We're going to add some this week. So it's certainly looking like we're going to get into the above average category. And I'm still not changing this graphic at all. With El Nino in place, my total projection for 90-degree days this summer season from, late spring through September, 20 to 24 days. At this point, it would take a relatively cool August to keep us from hitting 20 days. So I think we're still going to be in this wheelhouse of 20 to 24. Again, the average is 16, the most ever 31 in 2018. I'm sorry if you're getting tired of me throwing this out there, but it's just become such an increasingly big part of any summer story. This is new, and this is something I took a look at yesterday. A lot of talk now about, oh my goodness, we didn't used to need AC. It was okay to live without air conditioning in the Pacific Northwest. And now I think it's fair to say if you don't have AC, you're struggling to find window units or enough fans or to keep cool, right? So what I did is I looked at days under 80 degrees for meteorological summer. Meteorological summer is June, July, and August. So we're now seeing fewer days under 80 for those 3 months. That means fewer days with highs. I mean, it can be in the 50s in June, but generally we're talking about days in the 70s. So if you look at 2000, 2009, that 10-year span, and granted, these are relatively small data sets, I get it. 2000, 2009, we averaged 49 days under 80 degrees. Now, most of those were 60s and 70s in the month of June, but there were some in July and some in August. Anyway, the bigger number there is 49. Then if you go to the last 10 years, not including what we have going on so far this summer, but 2013 to 2022, what was an average of 49 days under 80 is dropped all the way to only 37 days under 80. That's a significant change, right? Now, again, relatively small data set, but a significant change. Now, the most recent summer with 50 days under 80, 2007. Now, think about that. 50 days, you're just a little bit shy of 2/3 of the days of the summer season, June, July, and August, being really comfortable, under 80. You don't really need AC. That I chose the number 50 because if you go back to around 2000 and into the 1990s, it was pretty common that we had summers where there were 50, 55 days less than 80. That was a lot of 70s, especially in June, but even sprinkled into July and August. So you had a lot of comfortable weather. Again, haven't had 50 days under 80 since 2007. So the need for AC certainly growing. No doubt about that. And with that, enough climatology for one day. Let's get to the 7 day. I mean, this is really simple weather, right? Today's the 17th day of July. Between now and through about August 10th, we're really in the bullseye of our absolute dry season. Not unusual not to have any rain or just to have maybe a straight thunder shower, drop 1/10 or 2/10 of an inch. We don't typically get much. So far this July, I've only picked up a trace of rain. I don't see any moisture on my 7 day. So for tomorrow, we will start to warm up. Could be some early cloudiness on Tuesday. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies in the valley and getting back up to about 85 degrees. Noticeably warmer than today, which is upper 70s to about 80. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, notice just like that, we're back up into the 90s. 92 Wednesday, 92 Thursday, 90 Friday. If we do it all 3 days, those would become days 13, 14, and 15 of 90-degree temperatures. Maximum snow. My golden thinks it's dinner time. And then right now, it looks like we will be cooling back down into the 80s, but still warm, 87 Saturday, 85 Sunday. I do want to point out, going into the weekend, I made the deal that the air mass was warm enough, pardon my dog, that the air mass was warm enough that we could have some areas getting near 100. We know Eugene hit 100. We know Salem hit 98. So that was a good call. I don't see an extreme heat this time. I think at the absolute most, we could have a 94 or 95 in there somewhere, maybe on Thursday. But I really like my numbers being 90 to 92. So yeah, hot 90s, but not getting carried away. And that's all I have right now. So I hope you enjoyed our cooler weather. Tomorrow, not bad. And then, we'll start to press it a little bit. Thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Again, my weather site that I own and operate is portlandweather.com. Hope you bookmark that, especially if you like to go to the coast and the gorge and Mount Hood, or you just like to see my live camera network. It's all right there for you. All right, I'll talk to you soon.